Right now, how a local organization is helping families across Dane County access free diapers. Plus, how an annual University of Wisconsin event is helping power cancer research to find a cure. Plus, a growing new sport may just be for you if you're a fan of sci-fi movies. We head up to Wausau to learn about Bladetoberfest. That's all coming up right now at 10. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm McKenna Alexander. 1 in 3 families struggle to afford an adequate amount of diapers for their children. The need for diapers is a public health issue being seen across the nation, including right here in Dane County. Megan Sullenberger's diaper fundraiser in 2018 inspired her to give away diapers from her garage. Now in a big new facility, Village Diaper Bank is impacting the lives of thousands of Dane County residents. Our Andrew Banstra has the story.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, and that's exactly what Megan Sullenberger's Village Diaper Bank is doing in Madison. They cut the ribbon on their new facility today, a brand new warehouse that they say will allow their operation to grow exponentially.
We're doing 80,000 diapers a month right now. I estimate within the next 5 years we'll be doing 200,000 a month here.
The facility and a new supplier will allow them to provide even more Madison families the help they need.
We spend about 33% of what the average consumer would pay at a big box store. So if you're paying 40 cents a diaper, I'm paying 10 cents a diaper.
Village Diaper Bank's village has grown so much, it's hard to believe.
You know, this morning I was actually in tears about it because it just seems impossible some days that 4 years ago we were literally in a basement storage space the size of our bathroom here.
The influx of free diapers in the community won't just help consumers' pockets, they'll help people's lives. Village Diaper Bank supplies children with half of their monthly diaper supply. Considering the diapers account for 14% of expenses for children, their work can be the difference between paying your bills and not.
Every month, we want to make sure that those dollars going back into someone's pocket are available for them to use for other essentials that they might be, having to make tough decisions about. Sometimes it's you don't pay your light bill. Sometimes it's you might not make a full car payment. Or sometimes it's you can't afford the diapers for your child to be able to do the alternative.
Village Diaper Bank is making Madison a better place and setting people up for success for the rest of their lives.
To have a resource like this where they can come and get those needs met is just really, it's a gift for our community.
The Village Diaper Bank partners with local organizations to distribute diapers. If you're in need of some or know a family that is, you can visit villagediaperbank.org to see where you can get some. Let's take a look now at your certified most accurate forecast. Julian, definitely smells like fall. I'm not going to stop saying that, but is it going to feel like fall the rest of this week?
Oh, man, I feel like it already feels like fall, especially for the day that we've already had. And as the nights continue, man, they're just going to keep getting cooler for us. We're going to need a jacket sooner or later. But as of right now, let's take a look outside on our radar. Well, we're looking at dry conditions. A couple of spot-up showers, mainly to the northeast, just outside of Watertown near Milwaukee. But for us, here in Madison and areas and throughout the rest of southern Wisconsin, we're going to be on the dry trend. Taking a look over towards the capital, this is what we're seeing and how we stacked up for today. Temperatures were not too bad. They stacked up close to seasonable, where we had a high of 68 degrees for us here in Madison from that warming that we had for a brief moment into our afternoon. But as we continue throughout the rest of tonight, clear skies, might see a quick little shower, but overall it's going to be very spotted and isolated. It's going to be cooler by the time we wake up tomorrow morning as well. We'll get to that in just a moment. In terms of wind speeds, not too bad, single digits throughout many of us here in southern Wisconsin with 10-mile-per-hour winds over towards Lone Rock. Now, as we take a look at how we're going to be stacking up for tomorrow, well, it's going to be a bit of a cooler one. We'll take a look at how this is going to be impacting us with those winds in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. This weekend, people in Stoughton were able to come together to celebrate Ukrainian Weekend. It's a way to try Ukrainian food, music, and art, all while supporting those who've come to America during Russia's attack on their country. Our Catherine Merck spoke with those who were at the event about what it means for Ukrainian families.
We've been already 5 months.
As violence across the country keeps Ukraine unsafe, the Stoughton Resettlement Assistance Program has helped people like the Soker family bring pieces of their home to Wisconsin.
It's really nice to hear a native language and to be friends.
The past couple of days were called Ukrainian Weekend. The program created the event as a way to help families who came to America from Ukraine.
We've had 4 Ukrainian families come to resettle in Stoughton and to make this their home for now.
Ukrainian Weekend was a celebration of all of the elements of the Soker family's culture.
Their traditions, their activities, just their heritage, about us getting to know them better and vice versa.
And the Stoughton Resettlement Group, they're doing a lot of work and sharing with people all these stories from other families.
While thousands of miles away from their home, this is just one way to help families like the Sokers feel safe and welcome.
And of course, we can't thank you enough for all you've done already.
Reporting in Stoughton, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
The co-director of the nonprofit tells News 3 Now that donating to organizations such as theirs is the biggest way to help families trying to get away from the violence overseas. Looking at sports now, Packers hit the road this weekend for what's been a very competitive matchup over the past couple years. Green Bay versus Tampa Bay, and it's the Packers who get it done. Jordan Reed joins us now with more on the win. Jordan?
It might not have been the prettiest, but hey, a win is a win. The Packers make it 2 straight dubs after stopping a late game rally by the Buccaneers. You know how it ended, but how did this game start off? Well, the concern of the week, who is Aaron Rodgers going to have at wide receiver? Well, number 12 gets Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Romeo Doubs in that rotation. Plus, the team welcomes back all-pro left tackle David Bakhtiari. Packers strike on their first 2 possessions. Doubs and Lazard find the end zone. They're leading 14-3 at halftime. Tom Brady and co., they start coming back in those final seconds of the game, but Green Bay's defense squashes that attempt, and the Packers win this one 14-12.
One thing we always talk to our guys about is just how do you respond when adversity strikes? And I thought specifically our defense to, allow a touchdown there in the 2-minute drive and, just to kind of reset themselves and play that final play. I just loved how we responded.
Defense stole the show this afternoon. We're going to break it down more in sports, but we're also going to hear from Aaron Rodgers on that team win. McKenna?
All right, thanks, Jordan. Well, football is here, which means fall is here, and so are the many events that follow, like the Deerfield Apple Fest. Bittersweet Blessings Farm hosted the festival this afternoon, featuring over 200 vendors, a petting zoo, and apple cider fresh off the press. The event was free for kids and offered pumpkins for sale from the farm's pumpkin patch. And to top off all the festivities, the Wisconsin Apple Pie Championship contest was also held with a pie auction following. The farm raised money for the local scout troop, the Deerfield Community Center, and the Deerfield High School Band. The University of Wisconsin is powering cancer research, helping raise money for a cure through its annual Badger Challenge. The annual event kicked off this morning at the headquarters of American Family Insurance. There are plenty of ways to participate in today's event. You could walk, run, or ride through a variety of courses of different lengths. Today's event was personal for many of those participating who've had cancer directly impact them and their families.
So I started doing this event in its inaugural year in 2016 in memory of my mom, who I lost to cancer. And it's been such a meaningful event all of these years. I've been here every year cycling. And then this summer, I was diagnosed with cancer as well. And I had major surgery for cancer 3.5 weeks ago, so I was not able to bike this year. But I got to do the 5K walk with my family, and it was even more special than it has been in past years.
Money raised from today's event not only powers cancer research here in Madison, but also goes toward treatment provided by the UW Carbone Cancer Center. Firefighters from multiple districts were called to battle a large commercial fire yesterday just north of Madison. This was the aftermath on Dovetail Drive, just south of County Highway CV near the airport. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the fire, but today we have learned that birds kept inside the building died from the blaze. Sun Prairie fire crews tell News 3 Now that the building suffered no structural damage, but everything inside was destroyed. That fire is believed to have caused $100,000 of damage and remains under investigation. President Biden and Governor Ron DeSantis have both declared a state of emergency in Florida ahead of a likely strike by Tropical Storm Ian. That storm is expected to explode in strength tonight and quickly become a major hurricane. Christian Benavides has the latest from Miami.
Floridians are filling sandbags, waiting in long lines for gas, and emptying grocery store shelves in preparation for Tropical Storm Ian.
Keep the water out of your place if it actually gets to that point. Better safe than sorry, bro.
All 67 counties in Florida are under a state of emergency as the National Hurricane Center keeps a close eye on the storm's projected track, which could change in the coming days.
From the Tampa Bay area all the way up to Escambia County along Florida's Gulf Coast, you could potentially see it make landfall in any of those places as of right now.
Ian is first expected to skirt past the Cayman Islands, and emergency officials are preparing for hurricane conditions.
We must prepare for the worst and absolutely pray and hope for the best.
Tropical storm conditions are already hitting western Cuba, and the area is expected to feel the full brunt of the storm early Tuesday. Then Ian's next stop, Florida.
Going to be pretty broad impacts throughout the state. You're going to have wind, you're going to have water. There could be flooding on the east coast of Florida as a result of this. It's a big storm.
Ian's expected to make landfall by midweek. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Meanwhile, President Biden has canceled his Florida DNC appearance on Tuesday due to that storm, and the state has called up 2,500 National Guard members to assist. Around the world tonight, millions of Cubans head to the polls for a historic referendum that could legalize same-sex marriage. The new family code will also expand rights for LGBTQ couples, such as adopting children, if passed. The country's president says they expect the majority of the citizens to vote yes. However, the referendum comes after widespread power cuts and runaway inflation that experts say could be used as a political opportunity for Cubans to express their anger. Still ahead tonight at 10 is a beer shortage on tap. Inflation and supply chains pressures on brewers continue to intensify.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find bicycle store quality electric e-bikes from Trek, Electra, Felt, Giant, and more. Trek offers the best-selling e-bike in America, Trek Verve Plus, under $2,500. At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find fat e-bikes, mountain e-bikes, road e-bikes, bike path e-bikes, and more. Free services included. The place to shop for your new e-bike is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
Mass shootings, school shootings, and violent crime are on the rise, and Ron Johnson is making things worse. He abandoned law enforcement, voting against funding for the police, preventing local departments from hiring more officers, but supported flooding our streets with guns and making it easier for violent criminals and domestic abusers to get them. Ron Johnson is failing to keep us safe. Every Town for Gun Safety Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
Did I do that? Every time.
Shh. You think she's still awake?
Don't worry.
Stealth mode?
Yeah.
Shh. Don't PT meetings end at 9?
Oh, got lost.
Wait, what'd you guys talk about?
Oh, math.
Libraries. Fine. You can drive to practice this weekend. That was easy.
What?
I mean, I love you guys.
The Lexus RX, built for modern families.
Monday, we're celebrating fall with pumpkins, hay rides, corn mazes, and more.
Josh Breider checks out 14 acres of nonstop fun right here in the 608.
And celebrating fall with yet another push of cooler air. We're talking temperatures from 4:30 to 7.
First, there was a shortage of toilet paper and computer chips, followed by baby formula, and now possibly beer. A shortage of aluminum cans and carbon dioxide could be the next supply chain issue to vex American consumers, especially here in Wisconsin. Brewers also point to rising prices of malted barley and hops, as well as transportation that impact their bottom line. Beer prices are up 5% so far this year, which is not as high as food costs at 11%. But the Brewers Association reports all the trends are against them, and some breweries could even be forced to close. Industry experts aren't sure that will result in shortages necessarily, but the variety and selection could definitely be more limited. Millions of people grew up watching saber fights in sci-fi movies, and now the opportunity to wield one is a possibility in Wausau. Nolan Bowman explains.
When you think of Star Wars, it's hard to not imagine the epic lightsaber fights we've seen on the big screen. But thanks to Bladetoberfest, it gives people a unique opportunity to fight with lightsabers in real life.
Well, I just love to fight. I mean, as bad as that sounds, but I love to fight. I love the energy in combat and things like that.
Similar to fencing, Bladetoberfest is a lightsaber combat fighting tournament with 30 to 50 participants squaring off against one another. This is the second year the tournament has been in Wausau, as it's also taken place in Minnesota, Florida, and has a national tournament in Las Vegas. In order to excel as a fighter, it takes a great deal of grit and drive.
Energy, courage, and just willingness to do it.
Although it takes certain traits to become a good fighter, anyone is able to participate.
People come into these kind of off the street, they see what's happening, and they're like, wow, this looks fun, I could do this, and I want to do it.
Regardless of skill level, the tournament's primary goal is to unite fans together, better one another, and practice their passions.
A great way to live out your nerd fantasies of sword fighting, lightsabers, and it's kind of your competitive side too if you want to take it that way, but you really don't have to. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of good people.
Bladetoberfest is put on by the Saber Legion. If you'd like to learn more information and find a charter club near you, you can visit saberlegion.org. Let's get a look outside at your certified most accurate forecast. Julian, I don't really know what saber weather is, but is this it?
Well, this is probably going to be great, gorgeous weather for it, because if you need to be outside for it, that's exactly what we're going to have, at least for the back end of the work week. Because until we get there, it's going to be a bit chilly for us. Taking a look outside, though, the good news is clear skies, but it is going to be cool, at least until we get into around 7 and 8 a.m., where we're going to see temperatures drop to about 40 degrees. But until we get there, we're going to hold firm into the middle and lower 50s throughout many areas of southern Wisconsin. Now, taking a look at our radar, not a lot in terms of precipitation. The system in itself has moved out. We are just now looking, because of that upper level trough, just a few disturbances have popped up, a couple of showers, but it's mainly north of I-90, so we're not really going to be dealing with any widespread showers overnight that we need to be worried about. But again, temperatures will drop pretty significantly for some areas as we get into the overnight hours. We're looking at upper 40s, some areas closer to the mid 40s, and then for Lone Rock, we're looking at 51 degrees. But for Madison, Platteville, and Janesville, we're going to be into those upper 40s by the time you are heading out the door for tomorrow. Taking a look at Dane County, we're still going to be bouncing back and forth from the low 50s for Cross Plains, but Sun Prairie area, we're going to be looking around 49 degrees. Now, take a look at tomorrow. Temperatures will not improve too much. It's actually going to be cooler than it was for today. We're looking at around 60 degrees for us for tomorrow. It's going to be mostly sunny, though, but then we're going to still be back and forth between cloud cover by the time we get into the afternoon hours. And folks, just be aware, it is going to be a breezy and windy one for many of us. Let's plan out what we're going to be seeing for the overnights going into our Monday morning. Heading out the door, getting the kids ready for school. It's going to be rather chilly. Mid-40s and upper 40s for many of us, especially here in Madison. And the winds coming in from the north-northwest are going to be on the breezy side, and some of those gusts could be from 20 to 25 miles per hour. And by the time we get into the afternoon, we're going to be looking at a couple of clouds starting to develop just mainly north of Dane County and around Madison, and start to blanket much of southern Wisconsin by the time we get into our later afternoon and even for our evening. Temperatures, again, are not going to be climbing too high. We're going to be seeing the lower 60s, some areas just into the mid and upper 50s as well. Then as we get into the overnights, well, we're looking at even cooler night for us as we're transitioning into the lower 40s. Still going to be on not as breezy, but still have a couple of winds rolling its way through. Cloud cover will start to clear out by the time we get into our Tuesday morning. But again, as you're heading out the door, it's going to be on the chillier side with those lower 40s. Now, outside of that, here's one thing we're going to watch for: wind speeds. This is the gusts that we're looking to clock at. Forecasting into the upper 20s by the time we get into our lunchtime hour. Early afternoon and then evening, We're still going to be looking at gusts around 25 miles per hour for us, and those won't start to die down until we get into our Monday afternoon and night, or excuse me, Monday night. But outside of that, a bus stop forecast is going to be on the cooler side, so make sure that you are wearing a light jacket as you are heading out the door for tomorrow. Now, taking a look at our 3 things we'll need to know. We are looking at windy conditions, breezy to start of the week, windy for some areas, cool temperatures for the next few days, but then we are going to start to see a bit of a warm-up by the time we get into the back end of the work week. This is really going to start the upward trend coming into our Thursday afternoon. We're going to look at those lower 60s, then mid-60s are going to hold firm throughout next weekend, which is going to be perfect for any kind of fall activities.
I remember whenever we were talking about how we just wanted to put our coats away, and we'd put them away and I'd bring them back out. I cannot believe we're already talking about bringing them out again, but I'm not mad about it.
Especially as we're waking up on these mornings with those lows in 30s. Oh my
It's going to be hard getting the kids to put on those jackets, but you just got to wrestle them into them. Keep them warm.
This is Wisconsin, right?
It's Wisconsin, built different.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Well, with those fall temperatures here in many parts of the country, Americans are bracing for something that's not great: higher home heating bills. Families are expected to pay an average of 17% more for home heat this coming season compared to last winter. And if you heat your home with natural gas, you'll face the biggest increase of more than 34%. Electric heat is expected to see a 7% increase. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is asking Congress for additional funding to help low-income families stay warm this winter. Jordan joins us next with highlights from today's Packers' thrilling win in Tampa. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. It's bone chilling.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Just call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Game in Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player.
They're right, honey. And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before. Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Future Hall of Fame quarterback squaring off, that steals the headline. But one of the larger questions this week for the Packers is, how is their defense going to stack up against Tom Brady and his offense? Well, the Pack had no problem answering that. Green Bay's defense held the Bucs to just 12 points, kept them from scoring a touchdown until the final seconds of the game, final 14 seconds if you want to be exact. And then probably the biggest play of this game, Bucs attempt a 2-point conversion, which would have tied this one up. Devondre Campbell says not today. That seals the win for the Packers. This also marks their first win against the Buccaneers since 2017. The Packers improved 2-1 on the season, and Aaron Rodgers is impressed with his team's product.
If you would have said in the offseason we'd be 2-1 after 3 with these 2 tough road games, I'd say that's probably pretty good, you know, considering that you would expect Minnesota and Tampa Bay to be, you know, in the top 7 teams at the end of the season. So I feel good about that.
After back-to-back sweeps at home, Badger volleyball hits the road for a top 10 border battle with Minnesota. First of 2 meetings this season, and as you'd expect with the rankings being so close and the rivalry, this one is intense from the start. The Gophers take the first 2 sets. Wisconsin putting up a fight late in that 3rd set. Sarah Franklin goes for the kill. That puts UW ahead for the set point. Minnesota not backing down. They think they've won the match off this play right here. Well, Kelly Sheffield challenges it. It's reversed, but Melanie Schaffmaster seals it right here, and the Gophers sweep the border battle. Brewers have already locked up the series with the Reds, trying for a 4-game sweep this afternoon. Hunter Renfroe, he's back for more. After 2 2-run homers last night, he puts the Crew on the board first with a solo shot. That's his 20th home run of the season. While it's tied up later in the game at 1, Spencer Steer hits the go-ahead homer. The Reds win it 2-1, and the Brewers take the regular season series. Now they return home for a 2-game set with the Cardinals. Feels like just yesterday we were talking Bucs basketball. Well, 6 days their preseason opens. 25 days the regular season gets going for Giannis and company. Today the team held its media day. Giannis back from his summer of Eurobasket, and rookie Marjan Beauchamp showing off his puppy Pluto. It's all smiles at Pfizer Forum this afternoon, especially when Giannis started talking about going on another championship run.
Kind of got jealous of Golden State, you know, seeing them in the parade and in the SPs, and just like, you know, that feeling now. You know what is getting stripped away from you. So hopefully God can bless us to win another one. But if not, that's the plan. But I'm going to try to do the right thing. You know, work on my body, work with my team, and try to win games.
Team USA hoping to clinch its 9th straight President's Cup this afternoon. The odds are looking good for USA as they lead the international team by 5 points. Xander Schauffele sinks the final putt, earning Team USA the 2022 President's Cup. Well, once Ohio State got going last night, they were hard to stop and they were hard to catch. The Badgers opened conference play with a loss in Columbus. While it wasn't a shutout, the Badgers managed to put up 21 points. It still ended up being a 30-point blowout. OSU set the tone early with 3 first-quarter touchdowns. Well, once they were leading 28-0, the Badgers managed to put some points on the board, but it was an uphill battle from there. Well, in the eyes of Paul Chryst, this team just didn't respond the way that they should have.
You can't hide from what happened, right? And you got to own it, right? And then you also got to own your response, you know, and that's, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't own that. And like I said, I feel good with this group about the response. Now we got to go do it.
The Badgers are now 2-2 on the season. They've returned home this Saturday to host Illinois. Kickoff at Camp Randall is set for 11 a.m.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Jillian's back with one final check of your forecast coming up after this.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, 6-pack bottles of Coke products, only $1.48, and avocados, only 39 cents each. Monday only, and visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Okay, so why use Toyota service centers?
Well, you wouldn't use just any carpenter, would you?
This thing working? Oh, I'm never getting out of here.
No,
Right.
Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now's the perfect time to get your roofing project off the ground with Feldco. As the seasons change, you want to be sure your house is ready for the harsh Midwestern weather ahead. For just $279 a month, you can protect your home and your family with a new Feldco roof. So get your fall started off on the right foot today with Feldco.
Roofing for $279 a month ends Friday. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for 60 and get 500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, Simply Done bath tissue or paper towels, only $2.99. And Pringles, only 99 cents. Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Help us collect kids' winter coats during Coats for Kids.
I swung this on you guys like 2 seconds ago. We're all
I think I'm ready.
Our favorite fall activity. You got yours?
Yes.
All right, mine is, I don't have mine actually. Mine's apple picking. I've never been and I'm allergic to apples, but I think that's probably what it is.
I'm gonna just say mine's like going on to a hayride.
I would say the same, but I am allergic to hay, so it's...
So many people are allergic to hay.
I'm so sorry.
So it's a toss-up. But I love, if it's cool outside, it's breezy.
Wear a mask. You can do that now. Protect yourself from hay this fall.
Well, the perfect thing that we could segue
and COVID
into.
and the flu.
The cool weather in itself, folks. That's what we're going to be seeing for the next few days, especially heading into next weekend. It's going to be perfect for fall activities.
All right. Thanks, Jill, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.